Good morning. It's June 25th. This is To My Liberal Friends. How many of you have wondered how so many members of Congress become wealthy? Being honest, some of them come to Congress with significant wealth already attained, but far too many seem to be able to get wealthy while in office, and those that have that wealth seem to be able to increase it. Members of Congress are paid $174,000 per year. This has been the set salary for the past 10 years. They were supposed to have their pay tied to the federal employee pay raises, the cost of living one, but every year some member, either a freshman who ran on the issue or one of the more affluent members, offers a resolution to deny the pay raise. Being political cowards, they all vote in favor of the resolution. What this has created is a system where either people with significant wealth run for Congress or people who is the best job they're ever going to have in their life. Read that Ilhan Omar or AOC. Millions of very qualified people refuse to run for Congress because they're in the prime earning years of their life, and they can't afford to take the salary cut that would come with winning a seat in the House or Senate. But that's not stopped many of them from finding ways to increase their financial portfolio. For the past several years, some members of Congress have attempted to limit members of Congress from trading stock. Members of Congress hold incredibly powerful positions that allow them to make policy decisions that impact all Americans and their finances. As a result, legitimate conflicts of interest may arise when an elected official has financial interests in areas where they make policy. Elected officials are also privy to information before the broader public, and they may use that information to line their own pockets before the information becomes public. The possibility that such information would be used for personal gain has led to multiple attempts to pass legislation that would ban members of Congress, as well as their spouses and children, from trading stocks. In 2012, Congress passed what is known as the Stock Act, but all it did was require members to file financial disclosures of any stock trades within 30 days and supposedly place new penalties on members who used information for what we referred to as insider trading, something that would get the average American in deep trouble with the SEC and the IRS. Nearly 15 years later, we find that only 5% of members of Congress do not own stock. And it's a bipartisan problem. But one of the biggest beneficiaries of stock trading in Congress is the former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, and she has repeatedly made efforts to prevent any further restrictions on members trading stock. An investigative piece in the New York Post outlines just how much Ms. Pelosi and her husband Paul benefit from trading stock. According to her financial disclosures, and they use broad ranges, they raked in between $7.8 million and $42.5 million in 2024. And we have to use those numbers because I said they have these in very wide ranges. But even then, their wealth increased from $370 million in 23 to $412 million in 24. That's a pretty good year by any standards. Their portfolio beat out just about every broker and hedge fund operator. All of Ms. Pelosi's trades are done in the name of her husband, Paul. That's simply a charade. The former speaker and her husband dumped 5,000 shares of Microsoft stock worth an estimated $2.2 million in July, one of their largest trades in years, just a few short months before the FTC announced an antitrust investigation into Microsoft. The Pelosi's also sold 2,000 shares of Visa stock less than 3 months before the credit card company was hit with a DOJ monopoly lawsuit. Pretty good timing on their part. Their best trade, though, might have been exercising a call option in December. They bought in 2023 an estimated premium of $1.8 million, allowing them to nab 50,000 shares of a hot AI chip stock, NVIDIA, for $12 a pop, less than 1/10 of its marketplace. In total, the couple paid an estimated $2.4 million for the investment, which on paper is now worth more than $7.2 million. The couple also paid between $600,000 and $1.25 million for a call option on a California cybersecurity company, Palo Alto Networks. That was in February. The same week it was revealed the White House briefed lawmakers on a serious national security threat related to Russia, all tied to cybersecurity. The shares rose close to 20% in the days after the move. Taking a look at what Nancy Pelosi has reported, their investment pulled in an estimated 54% return in 24, more than double the S&P 500's gain. As I said, it beat every large hedge fund. You have to wonder why Mr. Pelosi, along with his wife, are not simply working on Wall Street with that kind of financial savvy. In the past, when many have called for a total ban on stock trading by members of Congress, Ms. Pelosi has rejected them by simply saying, quote, "We're a free market economy," end quote. And if you think 24 was a good year, they're doing just fine in 25. In January, they bought call options for then little-known artificial intelligence health firm Tempus AI, which has since inked a $200 million deal with AstraZeneca and doubled its stock price. The couple also took out call options for an energy company, Vistra, whose stock climbed last month after it unveiled a massive $1.9 billion deal to acquire natural gas facilities across the country from a private equity firm, citing rising U.S. power demand. As I said, other members of Congress have trades as well, but nobody has done it as astutely as Nancy and Paul Pelosi. Now is the time for Congress to put a total ban on trading stock. I say this because I fully understand that they glean key bits of information in briefings and can turn that information to pretty good financial windfalls. It's been To My Liberal Friends. Thanks for listening.